What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's deexypher again. I'm glad to see everybody. Want to jump in today. We're going to do a review on this new Machine Gun Kelly album, Tickets to My Downfall. Now, before we get into this, I want to let you guys know that because of YouTube's monetization policy, I will not be playing any of the music during this review. We're just going to go over the songs here. But I'm going to go over these songs and I'm going to give you my own review of the songs, a lot of the things that they remind me of, being someone that's been in the punk rock scene and the pop punk scene for over a decade. I thought it would be kind of fun for me to jump on here and give you guys some of my thoughts on what these songs remind me of, what a lot of them sound like, just things like that. So give me just 1 second here and we'll get into it, okay? Okay, and we're back. Alright guys, so we're going to jump right into this review here, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to start picking off songs. I'm going to go through these in order, and I'm going to give you guys a review on each one of them, kind of break them down a little bit, give you guys an idea of what I think the next singles could be on this album, because I've always had a really good ear for that, picking singles when I hear a new album. Like, I can tell what's going to be a single. So I thought we'd go ahead and try and jump into this. So the first song on the album is called Title Track. It's literally Title Track is the name of it, which is a very punk rock thing to do. The Dead Kennedys used to do that a lot. They would name things just really strange instead of calling them what you would expect them to be. So instead of calling it Tickets to My Downfall, he went with Title Track, which I think was a really cool move. It was a very punk rock kind of move of him. Title Track is this great song. It starts off with this little like acoustic piece with Kells kind of singing, and then it like fades out and he just kind of goes, F it, and jumps into just a full-on punk rock rager, very Blink-182 style. This whole album is very, very Blink-182. In fact, I can't think of much on it that doesn't give me some sort of Blink vibes, except maybe a couple of songs on here. There's a couple of songs that I don't really think sound so much like Blink, but we'll get to that. This next song on here is Kiss Kiss, and Kiss Kiss is kind of it's a poppy little number. It almost, as much as it sounds like Blink-182, it also sounds a little bit like Rick Springfield. I know that's kind of a brutal thing to say in this situation, but something about just the guitar tones and stuff reminded me a lot of like Rick Springfield's early, when he was still kind of pop punk before there was a word for that. So Kiss Kiss is a really good song. I could see it maybe being a later single at some point, but I don't foresee it being the next single by any means. In fact, we're about to get into the next single here in just a minute. So the next song on this album is called Drunk Face, and this is actually a song that, if you guys saw the video on his Instagram when they reshot the cover with him on the pool, that got teased. It talks about still having your dealer's number and going back to these things that you shouldn't have done. And the chorus on this song is great because it talks about, I'll grow up next summer, I've still got my dealer's number, I'll grow up, I hooked up with that girl I should have quit. Like, it's got all these great little things it talks about in there that we've all done 1,000 times when we're drunk. So Drunk Face was a really good song, a really good name for it. I think that Drunk Face could easily be another single because of its hooky anthemic potential. I definitely think that it could easily be one of the next singles. Then we get to the first one, Bloody Valentine, which was the very first single off of this album. Even though contrary to popular belief, a lot of people say it's Why Are You Here? But that really isn't, that's not even part of this album. But it really wasn't even, it wasn't a thought at this point. It was just something that Kells had done. Kind of like I Think I'm Okay really wasn't, I Think I'm Okay, I think, was really the start to this whole pop punk phase. Like, everybody tries to attribute it to Why Are You Here, but I really think it was I Think I'm Okay on the end of Hotel Diablo. Then Why Are You Here was kind of another step in that direction of, can we do this? Um, so Bloody Valentine was the first single off this album, and you guys have heard that 1,000 times. It's on your radio and everything. I absolutely love Bloody Valentine. I'm not even going to bother really going into that one. This next song is, okay, if I had to pick a song to say, this is going to be the next single off of this album, it's this song right here, and it's called Forget Me Too, featuring Halsey. Um, this song is obviously about him and Megan's relationship and when they first met, because it talks about a lot of things like well, you want me to forget you? Well, forget me too. I'm sure that you hate me because you keep me waiting, but I won't wait on you. And like, it's all kind of like it's written from Megan's perspective on the whole Brian Austin Green thing, or at least that was my interpretation on this. And Halsey's vocals are just killer on this. If you guys haven't been keeping up with what Halsey's doing lately, she's been on the rock train for a while with stuff like 3 a.m. and Nightmare and Experiment on Me from the Birds of Prey soundtrack. I mean, all these songs are just extremely rock and roll. Then we get to All I Know featuring Trippie Redd. Now, I know this was a pretty highly anticipated song when it came, or when it was first announced, was that, you know, Kells was going to have Trippie Redd on the album again after being on Hotel Diablo. And I can honestly say that this one shocked me. This one really jumped out there and shocked me. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to feel about Trippie Redd being on a rock album, per se. But they really pulled this off. Trippie pulls a really cool part on this. But I gotta say that one of my absolute favorite things about this song in general was that there's a line used in the beginning of this song that, and it's literally the very first thing that's said is, all I know is that I don't know nothing. All I know is that I don't know nothing at all. And that to me was like an instant ear grabber because of the fact that that's an Operation Ivy quote, which was really, really cool to see Kells use an Operation Ivy quote like that, because they're kind of a punk band that somehow had a hit that people still vaguely remember, but they don't really remember who it was. So that was really cool. That song is a lot like My Ex's Best Friend with Black Bear on it. It's got that same kind of vibe to it. Then we get to Lonely, and Lonely was the song that really, I would say, before any of these jumped out at me as being like, that is a Blink-182 style song. That's very Blink. It's a slower song, but it reminds me a lot of like Adam's Song by Blink-182 in that kind of way. And it's obviously got Travis playing drums on it, you can hear. So that one was very Blink. And then it turns into, from there it runs into the next song, which is called World War III. And World War III was, it's another one that sounds a lot like Blink. Like I said, this album sounds a lot like Blink, but these two in general really did. And this one also reminded me a little bit of Jaded by Green Day, the second half of Brain Stew. Just the way that it kind of like had this extremely fast, punchy style, and is over, I think the whole song is like 1 minute and 55 seconds or something like that. It's incredibly short. Then from there we jump into the Kevin and Barracuda interlude, which is MGK and Pete Davidson on the phone together, acting like they're aliens, and they sound like they're obviously high, so that's entertaining for what it is. Then we get to the next two that were already singles, which was Concert for Aliens and My Ex's Best Friend. Those are both great songs. I mean, really not a whole lot I need to say about those. We've heard those before already, so. Then we get to this last part of this album, these last 4 songs here. And this is where things kind of got a little interesting to me. There's like, this next song is a super stellar standout, and it's another one that I would absolutely say is going to be a single. In fact, it's a hard call here because as much as I would say that Forget Me 2 is going to be the next single off this album, which I still fully believe it will be, he's really pushing Jawbreaker. Jawbreaker got teased when he did the magazine covers. It's the song that he did on Kelly Clarkson yesterday. He's really pushing Jawbreaker, and for good reason. Jawbreaker is this super, super catchy pop punk song. And I mean, there's really not a whole lot to be said about it. It's just a really catchy pop punk song in the sense of a Bloody Valentine or even a My Ex's Best Friend. It kind of has that same feel in a way, too. So that was Jawbreaker. Jawbreaker, like I said, he's pushing it hard. It's a really, really great song. The next one from there was a song called Nothing Inside featuring Ian Dior, and this was another one that gave me super hardcore, like Blink-182 vibes. Even a little bit like the Ian Dior and Machine Gun Kelly Sick and Tired kind of vibe. It was the same sort of thing. That was a really good one. Like I said, very, very, very Blink sounding. And Ian Dior just sounds amazing on this stuff. I love when him and Kells work together. The only thing that really sucked about this was that none of the Youngblood songs made it. And I know that Kells had said there was Youngblood songs that were going to be on this album, but none of them appear to have made it here, so I don't know what that's about, but hopefully there'll be more. I know that Youngblood posted today. Today is the 26th, and I know that he posted today and said that there was some more music on the way from them and stuff, for that hopefully maybe they could do an album together or something, so that would be kind of interesting. I've been saying since Tickets to My Downfall, I really just would love to see like MGK and Youngblood and Travis Barker like form a super group and maybe find like some incredible bass player. I don't know, like a Mikey Way. Like, how cool would that be? Like, Mikey Way with fucking Machine Gun Kelly, Travis Barker, and fucking Youngblood. I mean, really, even Mark Hoppus would be cool, but it'd be really cool to see, like, a Mikey Way in there. Then the last two on this album, I noticed that with Nothing Inside, it seemed like the album had started to slope a little bit. And look, if there's anything I'm gonna say that I don't like about this album, it's just the way it ended. I feel like it needed a rocker on the end to keep us wanting more. But that's not to take away from these next two songs. This next song is it's called an interlude, and I guess I can see why, because it's not a super long song, and it's got a lot of talking and like phone call stuff between him and Megan. But it's a really beautiful song. It actually reminds me of the old MGK song off the mixtape era called Your Song, which has got like a voicemail and stuff in it, and I always really liked that, and that's what this one reminded me a lot of, was like that same kind of sound. It was a really good song. Like I said, if we can even call it a song, it's kind of an interlude thing, I guess. It was interesting in the fact that we got to hear a lot of the private conversation between Megan and Kells, and kind of hear how their relationship came together and came to be. So that was really cool. And then now we're to the last song. This last song, I have to say, I didn't quite understand how it fit the theme of the album, other than maybe he was just trying to put something really sweet on there and show that he could be multi-talented. But this last song is called Play This When I'm Gone. And I'm not sure, it's a very slow, like, acoustic song. And I'm not sure if this is a song that is for Megan, or if this is a song that was maybe for his daughter. Kind kind of like 27 was, or like uh I can't think of the song right off. Oh, yeah, I can't think of it right off. Never mind. But like, let's use 27 for the example. Like 27 was kind of a song for like the fans. It was a song for his daughter. Like, you know, if something should happen, like, this is for you. So I kind of think that's what this one was it was like a tripled up meaning here. It was like, play this when I'm gone. It was for like Megan. It was for his daughter as much as it was for us. It's for everybody that he's reached out and touched in his life that, you know, play this when I'm gone and don't forget me. Like, remember that, you know, I helped you guys. So, it was really cool. Like I said, I just didn't quite grasp the way it fit on the album there, but it is what it is. Still, nonetheless, a great song. Absolutely deserves to be listened to. Everything on this album deserves to be listened to. Even like I said, him and Pete Davidson on the phone together, just high, talking about being aliens, is so worth listening to. So, it was a really great album overall. I don't know what else I can say about it. I mean, I've been riding and dying, like, I've been a ride or die for MGK for a long time, like, since the mixtape era. And I've been saying for a long time that he was going to do a rock album at some point. There was just something about his image and his attitude all that time ago that I knew, like, this kid's going to do a rock album. And here it finally is. I mean, it took like 10 years, but it's finally here, you know. He's doing a rock album. He's done it. And so, yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad that he did this. I'm glad that it came out great. I'm really happy that the album's out. Sorry, like I said, that we couldn't play any music, but that's the monetization game here, so I wanted to be able to monetize this and still make money off of it and everything, and I know I couldn't do that if I got hit with copyrights and stuff, so. Other than that, guys, make sure you like this video, give that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share it with a friend, and drop a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite song from this album is, and let me know if you think that he should stay on this path or if he should go back to rap, because I've seen a lot on both sides of this, whether MGK should stay in the rock game or should he go back to rapping. So you guys make sure to drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, take care.